I can be very clear with you about my intention here. My intention here is to drive action. We are going to hear a lot of very interesting ideas today, but when we talk about a smart future, whether this future is smart is there, but whether it's going to be enjoyed by all and the character of that future, that is up to us. It can go many ways, but we are the ones who determine how good and bright a future that will be. So I'm very happy to be giving this address, and I'm also very happy to be here to bring you greetings from the governing board of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, IFLA, the global voice of libraries. Now, the theme of this conference, Smart Future, Knowledge Trends That Will Change the World, is very timely, and I would like to take just a few minutes to discuss with you how very important your work at this conference is to the future of libraries and to the organizations that you serve, as well as to the future of access to information and sustainable development. 3 years ago, IFLA launched the IFLA Trend Report, which identified 5 key trends in society that are having major impacts on libraries and access to information and knowledge. In order to understand what is happening in the knowledge sector of the economy, we must first understand the overall societal trends that are driving these changes. These trends have the potential to represent either positive or negative change, and the direction of that change is up to us. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the IFLA Trend Report, let me briefly state what these 5 trends are, and if you come to the keynote tomorrow, we'll go into this in a little bit more depth. The first is that new technology will expand access to information, but also present barriers. The second is online learning will transform and disrupt traditional education. The third is the boundaries of data protection and privacy will be redefined. The fourth, hyper-connected societies will recognize and empower new voices. And fifth, it's that our global information economy will be transformed by new technologies. So as you can see, these trends are technology-driven and enabled, and they are also at the core of our new knowledge society. As your conference organizers have pointed out in the overview for this meeting, libraries, especially digital libraries, are truly at the heart of knowledge societies. They enable people to access, share, and apply knowledge. It is very important to remember that while we focus on digital solutions to challenges created by these trends, they are solutions for people to accomplish their goals. We are working for our communities to meet the needs that access to information can fulfill. We must put people back at the center of our thinking when we are creating solutions to these challenges. Now, I see in your program agenda topics that could be responses to the challenges posed by these trends, including such topics as big data and data visualization, innovation in digital publishing, massive online open courses, and universal access and sharing of research publications and data. For example, your discussions around the theme of digital resources reflect the observation in the Trend Report that new technology will expand access to information, but also present barriers. And the nature of new online business models will heavily influence who can successfully own, profit from, share, or access information in the future. And when you go through the exhibits outside, which is a wonderful collection of information products and services, you will also be struck at how much this is true. The reality of that statement is demonstrated right outside your door. MOOCs recognizes the second trend, that online learning will transform and disrupt traditional education by making learning opportunities cheaper and more accessible. For academic libraries, the question then becomes, who serves all these online students? How does this change the model of the academic library? It is clear that your conference organizers have been very thoughtful and forward-thinking when they planned this program. But it is important to remember that trends represent change. And what we know about change is it's constant, it's moving faster than ever before, and it is better for an organization to lead its own changes than to have ones imposed upon them by others. And this is particularly true in our world, where technology is disrupting all kinds of economic and social sectors, like publishing, government, and academic institutions. And we also know that the best time to initiate change is before you have to. So that is why, as IFLA president, I have issued a call to action on 4 levels. The first is the personal level. What skills and competencies do we need to continue to be successful in the 21st century? Librarians and information professionals must embrace continuous individual learning to keep their skills up to date and relevant. We must let go of old ways of doing things, no matter how comfortable we find them. What do our library educators need to do to ensure that they are providing our libraries and other organizations with professionals who are equipped to provide the transformational services that will keep our libraries and our profession strong? Second is the building the change agenda for our organizations. What will our communities need? What is the change agenda for libraries, archives, and the organizations they serve? I see on your program agenda themes that could be responses to this question, including digital literacy standards and policies, and collaborative knowledge creation and crowdsourcing. Many of you are already looking at these trends and asking yourselves, where are the possible opportunities that are relevant to our mission? And indeed, this examination is the focus of this conference. Third, there is a need to develop national and regional policy agendas. This is where national library associations and others, with the active participation of their members, in collaboration with the leadership of their national library, need to work with their government authorities. It is important that we all consider library associations and national libraries to be our partners, and this includes your National Digital Library. There are several fundamental issues that comprise information policy, and these issues impact the entire digital environment and are also reflected in program areas such as e-lending, copyright, and internet governance. There is a recognition by your government of the importance of libraries. A 2008 UNESCO publication discusses the establishment of the National Knowledge Commission of India in 2005. It states the overarching aim is to transform into a vibrant, knowledge-based society, and judging by the speakers and topics at this conference, it appears that you are succeeding. The establishment of a national digital library and the many projects it initiates is more evidence of a recognition by the government of the importance that national policy plays and access to information plays in assisting governments to achieve their goals. But there is still much work to do here in India, as in every country of the world, and I will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Finally, and extremely important, is the global information policy agenda. As globalization increases, we need to work with the authorities like WIPO, the United Nations, and UNESCO, who make or influence policy at the global level. As the president of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, I am here to tell you that IFLA is working hard on your behalf to use these platforms to position libraries for success. The WIPO Treaty for copyright exceptions for the blind and physically handicapped, and the inclusion of access to information in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are two most recent examples. Last year, I led the IFLA delegation to the United Nations during the discussions and debate that resulted in the publication of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions believes that increasing access to information and knowledge across society, assisted by the availability of information and communications technologies, supports sustainable development and improves people's lives. I will speak more about these trends and the challenges they present during other sessions at the conference, but I want to say one or two more things about sustainable development. These goals are very important to every country in the world. For the first time, these goals apply to every country in the world, not only the developing nations. Every single goal, including eradicating poverty, increasing crop yields and ending hunger, helping people be more healthful, have a happier and healthier life, all of these depend upon access to information. And in a world where not everyone is connected to the internet, there must be a bridge for this digital divide, because this sustainable society, this inclusive society, this future, this smart future, must be available and must include everyone. And the way that that happens is by having a sustainable library system where all can come and get the access to information that they need to make good decisions, to be informed citizens, to exercise their social, political, and economic rights. So libraries are the key to this. Knowledge management in libraries, digital libraries, all of the things that you were discussing here today. But it's not just about libraries for the future or information services for the future. It's about the future of the planet, and it's about the future of all the individuals in it. And it is up to us to create that future that will be an inclusive, smart future for everyone. So, congratulations on a conference program that will provide you with the discussions of the challenges we as information professionals face in confronting these societal trends, and that looks at a number of possible responses. However, talk is not enough. I'm going to say that one more time. Talk is not enough. We must act. Each one of you must commit to leaving here with a response to the call to action that this conference agenda represents. You must make choices and transform yourselves and your libraries and information services accordingly. I want to thank the conference organizers for putting together such a forward-thinking program. You have provided a cornucopia of choices for all participants to build and implement their own change agendas. I wish all of you a very successful and fruitful conference, and I am looking forward to continuing to work with you as IFLA president as we answer the call to action together and position our organizations and ourselves for success in the 21st century, because it is up to us to build the change we want. So I will leave you with some words from my President, Barack Obama, who has said, "We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek."